Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Looney, and the market was pretty boring today. We're going to cover what happened in the market today, but we're also going to take a look at some of the plays I did and some of the moves I made. And we're also going to take a look at an individual stock that had earnings that's in my portfolio. But before we get into this video, quick shout out to the Discord, free to join, and I also offer a premium membership for $8 a month. You can check it out. The links are down below. But let's first just start off with the macros in the entire market. You can see here a bit of red across the board. Tech and consumer and finance, pretty much everywhere was red. Wasn't a massive red day. It could just be a cooling off because yesterday we did see massive gains, or we saw really good gains from earlier this week, and it could just be just a simple rebreather or just a breather for the time being. Bitcoin being down, Russell 2000 is actually green, and the VIX was slightly green. Not too much to talk about on the VIX, but we did see some volatility increase early in the day and then cooled off. That's kind of pretty standard. So nothing really notable to say. Not too many big news coming from the entire market, but we can look at Nvidia because it had a really good earnings report yesterday, and despite that, we're seeing it is down 5%, and it could just be that classic sell the news where you get good news, you have that buy the rumor, and then you finally get that news releases, and then you see a lot of investors sell and take profit. So it could just simply be that good news is kind of bad news, also that way, but I think it's more just taking profit from the good earnings. So not really anything crazy from Nvidia, but it did fall. And one stock I do want to talk about is the next one is Mara, and this is a stock that I hold, and it had earnings and actually missed earnings. The one thing with Mara, before we even actually get into this, Mara is a crypto miner / data center, so it mines Bitcoin and it hodls Bitcoin, but it also provides power to data centers, whether companies need it. It has signed some deals, I believe, with like Exxon, not Exxon Mobil, but another Exxon company name. And I own this stock. I believe in it long term. It might go to $4, might go to $3, but I think long term it is a great hold, or that's at least what I'm doing. I'm planning to hold, and I'm up 14% on the day, up $600, so pretty massive gains. I'm still down $1,500, and I'm not really down. If we go to my options, we go to our realized gains, you can see here, Mara is actually my biggest gainer, plus 3,000. So despite me being down on the unrealized sort of position all time, I am up. I'm actually green. But why did it actually shoot up? And that's because it had earnings. Now, it did miss earnings, and I wanted to kind of talk about the company first because when it comes to earnings with these sort of companies, they're honestly not the biggest deal. We've seen this before. These companies miss or beat earnings by a landslide. It's anyone's guess when it comes to earnings just because they rely heavily on crypto and Bitcoin. So earnings aren't really the best sort of noting for these sort of companies. Obviously, you want them to beat them, but they're not the be-all for these sort of companies. And you can see here that it missed earnings pretty significant, and it actually shot up. And that's simply just because this stock is heavily reliant on Bitcoin and Bitcoin movement. But I do believe they announced some deals or for like data centers that they're transitioning a little bit, and they have some kind of partner with Starwood. So very good news on that. They are finally transitioning. I personally hold this stock not really for the data centers. I'm holding it for the fact that it holds Bitcoin and it has that power, but I'm not really doing it because it's turning into a data center. I have Riot for that. Riot really is that data center, but these are both very similar. But you can see here, up 14%, really good day. I am selling puts and selling covered calls. Actually pretty interesting today, or earlier this week, I was facing assignment for these two cash secured puts at the $8 and 7.5, but it seems like I'm not going to be hitting that. This stock's very volatile. It has a high beta. It's like a beta of like 5 or upwards of 5. So very volatile stock. It still could go down to 8 or 7.5, or as the comments might say, to 0. But we'll really see what happens, and I'll be okay with assignment. I'll be okay with assignment at $8 or 7.5, and I'll sell covered calls. And that's exactly what I am doing. I'm selling a $13 covered call, and I have two $16 covered calls that are expiring and hopefully worthless. I don't think Riot's going to shoot up to 16. If it does, honestly, I wouldn't mind selling it because that's a pretty insane increase in price in just a single day. So if it goes to that price, that's okay. But Same time, 13, if it goes there, also okay. I will make a profit because I own the shares for 12.7. And actually, a pretty interesting thing I could show you guys is that what I'll do is I will sell a covered call for premium and then I'll reinvest that. So kind of like a dividend reinvestment, but a little bit more control. So I'm selling this $13 covered call. I get $9 for the premium, and then I bought a share with that premium and lowering my average cost. And also, if it does shoot up to 13, I'm not missing out as much if I were to leave them uncovered. So, and that's also another thing. I'm not covering all my shares. So if Mara runs at 13 or past that, I do have shares uncovered that can go to 100 or whatever it needs to be to kind of finally surpass the prices I have set, these strike prices. So that's how I'm handling Mara. I am also bearish on crypto in general. Now, I'll switch over to there. The short term, I would say I'm slightly bearish on crypto. We know that's very volatile. It's the winter crypto. It's the midterms. It is what it is. It's the 4-year cycle. That doesn't mean I'm not buying. I've actually increased my buying. Instead of $15 a day, I now do $20 a day. So where that comes from, mainly Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge. Now, Bitcoin is for that long-term position, long-term hold, and I have $6 a day going for this. I'm actually negative. I did take profits. I do want to note that. So I'm not really, I just bag holding, if you want to say. Maybe I am a little bit, but I am just dollar cost averaging down. I believe in this long term. Don't really care what it does day to day. It is a very volatile asset. Also, with that, there was some news from Jane Street. I already covered this, but they got sued. So I know there's manipulators in Bitcoin and crypto, but I don't really care too much about that, to be honest. I just care about that long term, building that position. So that's the Bitcoin. And then for Ethereum, I mainly hold it for that staking. So I actually earn interest and build it up. It reinvests as well. So I have it for that staking. And this one I increased to $4 a day instead of $3. So that is one that I increased. And then the last one is Dogecoin. And this one's a meme play. So I'm not really taking this too serious, even though it is a big position. This is really just a fun play. And I increased it to $4 a day. And again, long term, for fun, not taking it too serious. Now, these other ones still left at $1 a day. And I do plan to sell a lot of them if I get a pretty good return. I try to aim for 100% return before selling it, and that might seem out of reach, but I've been in crypto for a long time, or I've been in crypto since 2022, and I'm very aware of these price swings, and just when you think they won't go up is exactly when they do. So I want to be prepared for that. I'm dollar cost averaging so that when it does shoot up, or if it does shoot up, I am able to make some profit and sell some of these coins off. Now, and also I did actually sell some crypto back in 2024 and 2025. So my average cost isn't as good anymore, but that is something I did want to put out there. Now, another thing is my options. I'm still doing my options. I have a bunch of options expiring tomorrow, and I thought I was going to get assigned on a lot of them, but I might not get assigned as much as I think. So it kind of looks like as of now, I'm only going to get assigned on this Webull $6.5 put. The rest are going to just expire worthless, which is fine. I'm fine with either outcome, and therefore I can redoing this strategy, keep doing it, generate that income, and complete that consistent income month to month. And another thing is I build up my cash a little bit. So if we scroll down to here, I put some into my cash position up to 10% right now. I still want to build this up. I think 10% is a little low. So I've been a lot more aggressive with covered calls, ready to sell some shares off of a few positions, like this SoFi leverage position I'm pretty aggressive on. Oscar I'm pretty aggressive on. Open Door, Webull, pretty aggressive on selling these shares. So I am trying to build that cash position up is at 10%. Not the worst. It's not that small, but I do want to build it up. So it seems like pretty much just red across the board, except for a few ones like Robinhood, Riot, and Oscar, and Mara, and Webull, and Open. I guess a lot more than I thought, to be honest. I thought a lot of them were red, but it seems like it was sort of a mix. And that's pretty much it for today. There wasn't really too much news going on. A lot of the news has already happened. There is some escalating things going on with the tariffs. You have inflation, you have all the different macro news, but that's really just noise day to day. Are we in a bubble? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm staying invested. Yes, better times to invest, worse times to invest. but that is not what I'm not trying to guess. I'm not trying to time this perfect. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, how you're kind of positioning, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.